Russian man like inside the dark, call me Bill Snatcher. Just the brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a convict and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my sleep like a lot.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys a major update for the Boruto manga. So obviously, if you don't want spoilers, click off of this video because we are going to be talking about some major spoilers in the Boruto manga. So just when I thought everything was done in terms of we're not going to get any significant leaks for the chapter until maybe sometime tomorrow, one of my patrons over in the Discord ended up hitting me up and saying, hey, there are new spoilers out from Organic Dinosaurs, more than just the panel redraws that you've been sharing in the Discord. We got some text right now. So I'm literally recording this at 10:30 at night to try and get this uploaded and ready for you guys at 12 p.m. the next day. That way the uploads won't be late. So this is a major bombshell. So apparently Boruto was dead. Part of his heart and part of Boruto's lungs were destroyed. But what Momoshiki has done is an absolute game changer. So what Momoshiki did is Momoshiki appears in front of Boruto and he tells Boruto that the karma seal, I'm going to use this to restore the damage that was done to you. Now this is a little bit different, and as you guys know, I wasn't a huge fan of this idea, but it makes sense what he's saying, which is the fact that the karma seal, he took the remaining 18% of Boruto's karma seal, which right now is at 82% of completion. Momoshiki was very close to actually being able to revive. What Momoshiki did is he sacrificed that remaining 18% of the data that was being downloaded into Boruto's body, and he used that to restore the part of Boruto's heart that was destroyed, restore the part of Boruto's lungs were destroyed. But by doing so, Momoshiki has essentially given up his way to be revived into Boruto. So on one hand, I was not a fan of the idea that karma can reverse life-threatening injuries. Like, we've seen karma reverse minor injuries, but never anything life-threatening. And I kind of went back and I said, well, you know, if karma could reverse life-threatening injuries, why didn't Ishiki just reverse the life-threatening injuries that Jigen was getting from Kashin Koji? He obviously didn't want to revive into Koji. Now, what this chapter tells us, basically, at least this is what I'm drawing from the leaks, is as long as there is a remaining percentage of karma that has not been extracted, life-threatening injuries can be reversed. Now, I like this in this sense right here. I'm not a fan of Momoshiki saying, hey, I'm going to save you. However, I do like that Kishimoto did not break something that he's had in the series before, which is this established principle that if you bring somebody back from the dead, it is a equivalent exchange. It is a life for a life. As I stated in a prior video, Rennie Rebirth was retconned in the 4th Great Ninja War and in the 4th Naruto data book as being a life for life jutsu. That line about it being linked to your chakra levels is not correct. And so I like how this is right up there with Chiyo being able to do her life transfers jutsu in order to save Gaara. It's the same thing here. Momoshiki has essentially given up any opportunity to revive using Boruto's body, and Boruto is the only vessel that he had. So essentially Momoshiki has accepted the fact that he himself is going to die. So I do like that we did come out of this arc with at least one character death, Momoshiki being a character who died. I'm fine with that, and I'm fine with the method that it was done with, because this stays consistent with what we had before. If it just would have been Momoshiki saying, I'll help you out this one time and I'll save you from death, I would have called bullshit. So I do like the fact that that was not the case. Now, I know people said, well, you know, Momoshiki will save him. And a big part of the logic for that is, oh, well, you know, Momoshiki's not going to let his vessel end up dying. I like the twist that this has right here, which is essentially Momoshiki saved him, but he also threw away any chance he has to revive into Boruto's body by converting that remaining 18% of Otsutsuki data to heal Boruto's injuries, make Boruto 100% Otsutsuki, but make him unable to be revived into Boruto since that 18% was not extracted from Momoshiki into Boruto. So I'm fine with that. No more Momoshiki revival. However, that in itself does kind of present a little bit of an issue that I'm going to talk about in a little bit here, because I actually talked to a good buddy of mine over there on Twitter, and I don't think that they'll have a problem with me saying their name, America to Japan, who's doing a really awesome job translating the Blood Prison movie novel, which is a lot different than the movie that you got. We had a pretty good conversation about the pros and cons of Momoshiki doing what he did. America to Japan and I, for the most part, are on the same page. It's pretty clear right now that Momoshiki saw something interesting in Boruto's future, potentially that Otsutsuki god, because he states that there's a reason that he was willing to revive him. We just don't know the full reason yet. This isn't the moment where Boruto loses everything. Now, as of this recording, there isn't any further context. If there is more context, I'll make another update video likely tomorrow, because we should be getting full context or spoilers on the 17th or 18th. But in the conversation America to Japan and I had, both of us did have some issues with Momoshiki reviving Boruto. Not the fact that he revived him, but just from a narrative perspective, there are some issues. And it really comes down to the craft-based decision. So I'm not necessarily talking about like the shonen genre tropes. Like I've told you guys, when a lot of you guys are like, well, what if Boruto's a villain? What if Boruto's like an Eren Yeager? If it's in Weekly Shonen Jump, you have a lower chance of something like that happening. Series like Death Note are really the exception to the rule when it comes to Shonen Jump. Yes, Boruto technically runs in V-Jump magazine, which is basically the junior varsity magazine. It still started out as a Weekly Shonen Jump title. And given Boruto's a Naruto sequel, I don't see that happening. However, this is the thing. Getting back to Boruto from a craft perspective, this was a very interesting choice to essentially kill the tension that comes from the countdown of Momoshiki taking over Boruto's body and the race against time to try and find a way to prevent it, because the ticking clock is a tried and true tested method of creating conflict in a story. And that's been something that Naruto as a series has been using for a very long time. Like in the Land of Waves arc, we had the ticking clock where you were counting down to when Zabuza and Kakashi got healthy, and Kakashi needed to train Team 7 in the tuning exams. You had a ticking clock in the Forest of Death. In the Search for Tsunade arc, you had a ticking clock where it was a countdown to Tsunade giving Orochimaru an answer, Naruto mastering the final step of the Rasengan. The Sasuke retrieval arc had a ticking clock where you were on the countdown to trying to stop Sasuke from making his way to Orochimaru. The time skip itself was a ticking clock because we were told that there were going to be 3 years before Orochimaru could take Sasuke's body, so you had that instant conflict. Then when you get to the Tenchi Bridge arc, we find out that we're almost at that 3-year period, because it's only been 2.5 years since Naruto left with Jiraiya, and Sai says that there's another 6 months before Orochimaru can take Sasuke's body. This has always been something that we've had, and I've liked the idea of Boruto's body progressing further and further towards becoming 100% Otsutsuki, simply for the fact that it created that tension. There was no real cure to stop the Otsutsukification of Boruto, and it was something where it was becoming a race against time to find a way to save Boruto, and I like that. Now, I have to say, after reading this, and after having talked to America to Japan in the DMs, as well as and talked to some of my patrons in the Discord server, my stance has kind of changed. And one thing that I can kind of see, it goes back to what I told for Neverworld and everybody that was on that podcast for ranking the best manga in 2021. I said that this felt like the Search of Tsunade arc, where there was going to be a lot of setup for the future conflict that is coming in the series later on. Much like how Search for Tsunade arc was very slow on a weekly basis, damn near a whole year of setup, but we got the Sasuke retrieval arc and we got the seeds for conflict already established for what will be the first half of Naruto Shippuden. I feel like there's something more here with Boruto being revived, and I think it has to do with that Otsutsuki god and Boruto being fed to the Ten Tails. I don't think that obviously Boruto's going to get swallowed up, but I do think that there was something here for why Momoshiki did what he did. I don't think it's because they're going to be best friends forever. I don't think that that's it. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.